What's up, guys? So, the question is, should you buy an RTX 4080? Short answer, no. No, you should not. You can end the video right here and you can have your answer and go about your way. At $1,200, this card should be DOA in the marketplace. It is ridiculously overpriced. And that's coming from somebody who purchased a 4090. Originally, I was going to get a 4080, but I thought to myself, for $400 more, why would I settle for a chip that is as cut down as this one is and not just go for the Halo product? And that's another point that both of these companies, AMD and Nvidia, are doing that I think are absolutely ridiculous. The 7900 XT looks like it just exists to upsell you to the XTX. The RTX 4080 pretty much looks like it's designed to just upsell you to the 4090. With both of these companies having massive stock of RDNA 2 for AMD and the 3000 series for Nvidia, they really do not want you buying these products. More so in the case of Nvidia, the way they price these things. Seeing this card go from what was the MSRP of the 3080? I know it was pretty much impossible to get when it came out. I think it was 799, 749, something like that. And the replacement for that card for the next generation goes up to $1,200 for an 80 tier product. That's insanity. The 4090, as ridiculously priced as it is, and as sick as I am for paying $1,600 for it, is actually somehow a better deal. It only went up $100 from the 3090 and offers a hell of a lot more performance. And I was looking on Newegg a little while ago, and I found something quite interesting. These cards are not selling out as much as we thought they would. Yeah, I mean, they do have sold out models, primarily, which is ridiculous that these $1,400 models are selling out. At this point, I would wait and just get a 4090 when they come back in stock if I'm going to pay that price, especially at $1,400. That's only $200 less. But even the $1,239 model for the Eagle OC is still in stock from Gigabyte for the 4080. That's only what, 40 more dollars than the MSRP. So it is kind of nice to see that maybe these aren't going to sell out as rapidly as expected. Um, Yesterday, they all sold that they were out of stock. I don't know what happened. I don't know if people decided, never mind, they weren't going to get them. I don't know if they got more in stock than they originally planned. I have no idea. But these have been in stock all day today, and I'm sure there's still people looking for them, even at these prices. So hopefully, they're not going to sell as well as we thought. If you're in the market for a new graphics card, in my opinion, if you have to have the latest technology and you don't want to stay a generation behind, there's really only two cards worth getting. That's the RTX 4090 if you want the absolutely best performance all around, rasterization and ray tracing. I mean, I absolutely love the card. Other than the size of the thing, which is absolutely ridiculous, I think they over-engineer the cooler uh, on these things because the thing doesn't I haven't seen it get above like 63 degrees Celsius. I think they really over engineered and over designed these coolers to be way too big than what they needed for these cars. I think originally, I think they had planned to run these cars at 600 watts. Um, and maybe they cut them back a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. I just think, I mean, even I'm hearing for the 4080 that their coolers are over designed and way too big for what is actually going on under the hood. And those cars are running super cool. I mean, my fans barely turn up on my card, and I have a Gigabyte OC model 4090. But anyways, so you either need to get, in my opinion, if you want the best, ray tracing, rasterization, all that, I would go with the 4090. If you want something that's amazing, going to be amazing in ray tracing, I know we don't have the official numbers, um, and it's still going to be best to wait to see, but I truly think the only other card that's going to be worth getting, at least at the prices the way they are right now, uh, is a 7900 XTX. The 7900 XT, that thing is just as pointless as a 4080. In my opinion, the 7900 XT, it needs to be. I mean, this is just going based off of suspected performance, and then of course AMD's, you know, performance slides that they've shown us. Um, I can't remember. Let's see. Where are the cards? The slides that they showed. Here we go. So just going off of, this is just 4 games. Um, but I mean the 7900 XTX seems like it's going to be a great little card in rasterization. Ray tracing, in my opinion, you're paying $1,000. Ray tracing should be important. Um, and it being stuck a gen behind and only pretty much matching uh, Ampere, I think it's a little disappointing, especially when Intel came out with their GPUs not too long ago, and their first try at ray tracing was surpassing RDNA 2. I mean, I think AMD could do a little bit better in ray tracing. But other than that, rasterization looks phenomenal. And if the game is lightly ray traced, like something like Resident Evil Village or um, what's something else that's doesn't have a whole lot of ray tracing going on in it. Um, of course, games like Cyberpunk Control is going to slaughter uh, RDNA 3 in ray tracing. It's going to have to be something lightly ray traced, something that's Far Cry. Far Cry 6, I think, has very light ray tracing going on under the hood. I remember playing it and turning on ray tracing, and I couldn't tell a difference. And something like Spider-Man, you can tell a difference. And Resident Evil Village, I could barely tell a difference. And to be fair, these are AMD sponsored games. You know, they partner with AMD for these games, and I'm sure that has a lot to do with how much ray tracing they put into the game engine, because AMD's not going to want them to put a whole crap ton of ray tracing in the game engine when AMD themselves are not that good at ray tracing. Um, but yeah, so the 7900 XTX or the 4090. Right now, as of today, and until early next year, when the new cards, other series start coming out of, like the 4070 Ti, the 7800 XT, and so forth. Those are the only two cards worth getting for this Christmas if you have to have the latest and greatest. The XTX or the 4090. In my opinion, the 7900 XT, why buy that card when you can spend $100 more and get a whole heck of a lot more performance? I mean, this is easily $100 worth of performance here, in my opinion. That card needs to be, I would say, $799, and I think the 4080 needs to be maybe 850, 899 tops. Um, I think it'll trade blows with the 7900 XT and then outright beat it in ray tracing, probably. Um, so I think $100 more for the RTX 4080 would be fine. So 799 for the 7900 XT, and then leave this at 1,000. And I mean, even leave the 4090 at 16, and then come out with a 4080 Ti, and put it at 1200. I think that would be a proper price for their 4080 Ti. 1100, $1,200. Um, and then I think later we'll see maybe a 7950 XT, XTX, whatever. I don't know how AMD's doing their. I hate their naming scheme this time around. I wish they would have just stuck with what they did last time. I hate when these companies do this crap and just completely change their naming. Um, but you know, if that's the worst AMD does this generation, I think we'll be okay. But guys, it sucks the way the graphics cards market is right now. It sucks that we're actually people are excited about $1,000 graphics card. It sucks that that's what graphics cards have become to get people excited is $1,000. I remember back in the day in the mid 2000s, early 2000s, people used to complain non-stop when like a 4080 or a 5970 or a 5870 was 500, 699, so forth. Oh my lord, I would kill to have the flagship cards go back to 599. I know with inflation and all that, that's unrealistic, but I think 1200 is absolutely ridiculous. Um, like I said, 800 tops, 900 for the 4080 tops, maybe 900. That's still, in my opinion, too high. I think 799. I don't know. It sucks because it is a good card. I mean, it is. It's a great card. Um, it's the only bad thing about this card really is this $1,200 price tag. Um, and yeah, a lot of people are caught up on how cut down it is from the 4090. But that being said, it performs rather well for how cut down it is. It actually performs a lot better than I thought it would. Especially um let's see. What's going to be the page here I want to go to? Probably 5 at 1440. Of course, you're super CPU limited with the 4090 at 1440. These are great numbers. I mean, these are good numbers. These are solid numbers for the next gen. If it's replacing technically the 30, I mean, this is a great uptick at 1440p. This would be an excellent card. I mean, an absolutely killer card. It's just that stupid price. They just totally boned us with that price. I didn't mean to do that. At 4K, it's still pretty solid. I mean, it's not. Then the 4090 starts kind of taken away, you know. There's definitely a lot of people were saying there's room as much as it's cut down. There's enough room for two cards, maybe a TI and a Super. But going by these performance numbers, there isn't enough room for two cards. I think there's enough room for one in the middle between these two for Nvidia. Um, but look, going from the RTX 3080, I mean, and the games that the 8 game average that they tested, 40 extra frames, that's a that's a great uptick. Of course, that's overclocked, but I mean, it's super easy to overclock graphics cards these days. It's so easy to overclock any PC component pretty much. Um, it's just sad. It's sad that they priced it at what they priced it because these could have been some amazing cards at at a better price point. I mean, we wouldn't be crapping all over the 4080. The 4080 would be praised actually, and people would love it. I mean, I would honestly think it would surpass the 3080 in praise. It's just that price point. It's unfortunate. This launch has been pretty poor for Nvidia. Just by their pricing, and that stinks because the performance is there for these cards. This isn't another RTX 2000 series. When that launched, Turing launched, that was a joke. I remember when they first announced them at their little press conference thing. They didn't even release, or everybody's bitching about AMD not comparing uh, the 7900 XTX to any Nvidia's cards. Well, hell, back then Nvidia didn't compare their card to anything. That's how bad the performance uptick was for the 2000 series. I think the 2080 was barely beating a 1080 Ti, maybe like 3 to 5%. And of course, ray tracing was a joke back then. DLSS was a joke. Um, and the 2080 Ti was 1200, and it was pretty much the only one worth getting in terms of performance. But yeah, guys, I mean, it sucks. It sucks where graphics cards are these days. Like I said, if you're looking for a new graphics card this year, I would look on the used market for uh, either. I mean, it depends. It depends if you want ray tracing and all that. I would look at the 30 series, 300, 3000 series Ampere for NVIDIA, or RDNA 2, or wait for RDNA 3, see how those really do perform into the end of things with third party benchmarks. Or if you want the best of the best, go with the 4090. But I would definitely stay far away from the 4080. And yes, even the 7900 XT. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will catch y'all later.